Hello, everybody. Good evening, or morning, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for joining me this Tuesday morning. It's about 11:30 here in Istanbul, Turkey, and we're going to do an update on Bitcoin because we have reached a very critical point. And at this critical point, I've predicted it for 2 days now at this particular trendline support. So thank you very much for joining me. I'm Philakone Crypto. And my channel is dedicated to providing top tier technical analysis perspective from somebody who used to be a mechanical engineer, got very smart, invested in Ethereum mining rig, and also bought 200 Ethereum. And then in 2017, it changed my life where it gave me the ability to leave my job and pursue crypto full time. Since then, I've grown $2,000 into well over 7 figures. And here I am with a YouTube channel. Make sure you're also following me on Twitter as well. This way you can get access to all of my latest content where the goal is to ultimately increase your skills and turn you into a great trader, or increase your repertoire of skills so you can develop it and build it further. And trust me, you're going to learn tons of tips and tricks in this channel that you've never seen anywhere else. Not only that, I've got a great Discord channel. Please see the link below where I have a private trading group with tons of members, and we're always constantly learning and trading with each other. More importantly, come trade and learn with me. You get an opportunity to see how I do it, the trades that I take where I focus on education. Okay, let's jump right into this. Too long of an intro already. So let's jump right into Bitcoin and talk about it from many different perspectives. If we take a look at it on the daily, what we see is that we're trending right at this particular support already. I think we would all agree. And then if we take a look on the 4-day, it gives us the best picture simply because we see the body, the open and the close there, roughly the same averages with some bear trapped regions poking to the downside. And then we also see that we're trending very, very close again to this particular support range, okay? So I think that this was probably the best way to have drawn it, just something like that right here. And there's no doubt in my mind right now that we are trending towards this particular support. Now, will it hold? It doesn't always guarantee that a bounce can occur. There's nothing that's certain when it comes to trading. The only thing certain that comes to trading is the risk to reward setup that you originally planned for yourself. That is always set in stone and should never change. In regards to a possible bounce here, yeah, it's absolutely possible. But will it bounce? We don't know. We have to wait for a reaction to see what happens. The last thing that I want to do is solicit financial advice. And that's not what this channel is about. This channel is here to give you an unbiased technical analysis perspective from $1 million trader that does this full time, okay? Now, that's not to pat myself on the back or anything. It's just to let you guys know that I'm a professional trader. I do this seriously for a living, and this is where the majority of my income comes from, right? I depend on trading for a living, and I'm here to give you some really good advice. And my advice is that you just never know if the market is going to drop or bounce. You just don't know. But what I do know is that you have to take a chance sometimes. I'm not encouraging you to take this long. I'm talking about for any position in particular, you have to take a possible long or short opportunity and have some risk. Without risk, you just don't know if you can make some money or not. There's no sure trades that you can take, but some trades, they're higher probability to win than other trades. Other trades, they're much more risky because there's more uncertainty. And the more uncertainty there is, you might want to stay away from those types of trades. The more of a confluent reasons that you have to enter a trade, the higher your probability will be to win. So if you see a trade that has many different reasons to enter, for example, you're getting a huge doji candle, it's bullishly diverging, it's breaking a particular support, right? You might want to, breaking a particular long I meant, or support, right? Those are some good convictions to enter a trade. But of course, if you're on the fence and you're like, should I take this trade or not? Not really sure about it. There's not that much conviction, right? You're not that convinced to enter this trade. It could go either side, 50-50, right? Those are the kind of trades you probably want to avoid. Now, this one in particular right here, we see this major trend line forming, okay? You can see this as a trend line, as a channel, but if you go to some other time frames, all that you're gonna see is perhaps a double top, right? One top, two top, and then straight down again. That's a possibility too. So my job right now is to watch this particular movement here. So if we take a look at it on the weekly, for example, they're pretty nasty candles, okay? We had bullish momentum, but we just couldn't break above these particular ranges. Despite the weekly moving to the upside now, you got to factor in the daily. The daily is coming down, right? The 4 days going upwards though, so longer term, we do have bullish momentum going up. But of course, if the daily ends up crashing down, then it's going to cascade over to the higher time frames. So we're extremely oversold right now on the weekly, right? But on the bigger picture, in my opinion right now, once again, this is not financial advice, but you're never going to catch the bottom, right? It's impossible to catch bottoms if you're trading with a gigantic position. So right now, I've got $1 million on standby, 50 Bitcoins, getting ready to long at this particular position if something actually ends up happening. And I'm definitely excited about this, a little anxious to see if there's a possible bounce incoming. So one of the things that I'm going to look for, okay, is a wick. I'm not going to enter blind. It doesn't work like that. I'm probably going to end up waiting for this particular trend line to do something like that. All right. That's probably what I'll do. See this trend line? I drew it differently before when I shorted it, but I'm liking the way this looks here right now. So this is looking great. Before I drew it like that, okay? I drew it like that where it broke out, but I don't like drawing it like that. I want to draw it like this because this seems to make a lot more sense to me. Just like that. Okay? So that's a great trend line. I'm probably going to wait for a break over here. Don't mind the chickens and people. There's always, I'm in a touristy area. So I'm probably going to end up longing when it comes to this particular breakout right here. Okay? So I'm going to wait. I don't care about the 1% movement or 2. Whatever happens, I want to wait for a confirmation. There must be. Because if I were to enter right here, right now, that's really risky, okay? If I were to buy into a position right now, I'd probably buy about 25% or even 20% of my position. Hey, if it keeps continuing to the downside, I'm not going to be losing that much on a $200,000 position, right? I'm okay with that. And then on the breakout, I'll buy the rest of my 80% position. So that's possible as well. Someone asked me, like, when we reach these critical moments, how do you tell if a bounce is going to happen or not? You can't really tell. All you can do is react to it as it happens and gauge the market when new information comes in, right? So if you see it hovering here for a while, okay, right, it might just break to the upside. It might break to the downside. Whatever happens, it's up to you to react to these market changes and make a decision there. I find that trying to predict the market all the time, it's not a good strategy. The better strategies for day traders is to simply react as breaks happen or as candles are forming. For example, if we get a huge 4-hour candle, then you're obviously going to want to maybe long it, right? If we get a doji candle, if we break above here, it might provide a very good long opportunity as well. So right now we're trending exactly at this particular support, and we don't know what's going to happen yet. But what I do know is that I've got my alert set for right around here. Okay, and I've got my alerts set on this side as well. So either way, if it breaks to the upside or the downside, I'm going to know what's happening and I'm going to be able to react to this right away. So let's go to calling. And then let's go to save that. Let's go to greater than. Show pop-up. Play sound. The pop-ups are really important, okay? You always want to have the pop-ups. Like for example, if I just move it up like that, right? So every time it's less. Oh, I disabled the pop-up. I have to enable them again here. So let's give this some time. Today's still very early. It's only 11:30 in the morning for me. I believe we've got a lot of time still. I'll be observing it extremely closely in these regions, exactly where we are now. There's no guarantee that this is gonna bounce, but the last thing I'm gonna do is try to catch the bottom right over here and then just pray. If I do that, it's only gonna be with a 20 to 30% position. That's it, out of $1 million. So now it's just a matter of staying extremely diligent, patient, and making sure that I don't have any FOMO. None of my emotions are going to be affected in terms of desperately wanting to be in a trade. Okay, so I'm not going to do any of that at all. And I'm just going to chill here. And we're going to relax. So another thing that I can maybe mention is that we could... This is a very confusing count, honestly. Like if I had to do an Elliott wave analysis, it's like almost impossible to count this, right? So yeah, like it's literally impossible to count this wave now, in my opinion. But if I had to do an Elliott wave count, it'd probably be something like this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just something like that. That's 4, and now it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, perhaps something like that. But it's really difficult to count this, I'm telling you. So I'm gonna back off for now, leave it at that. I need more data before I make a decision on what to do and if I'm gonna trade this or not. And I'll keep you in the loop. These are really difficult times when you're reaching a particular support like this. You don't know what's going to happen, so stay sharp. Make sure you're always observing the market, and we'll react then. Have a great day and see you in the afternoon. If you enjoy these videos, please give me a like. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel and hit the notification button if you want to see when I stream or when I post videos. Bye now.